up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music, and I've been getting requests for some slow blues tutorials, so I'm going to walk you through a bunch of really cool techniques to play a slow blues. Lots of different things you can improvise with. I'm going to break down all these different concepts. I've got multiple hours of these exact same concepts, if you like this material, in a brand new course that's called Intermediate Blues Techniques. So you can get more information about it in the link down in the description. I appreciate you supporting Marty Music and all those courses I have at the website as well. So thank you for that. Let's break this one down. All right, I'm going to take you through a bunch of ideas about playing a slow blues. We're going to do it in the key of E. Now, I feel like when you mention the word improvise and guitar playing, improvising is really using the vocabulary you already have, whether that be different rhythm riffs, chord voicings licks you've learned. Improvising is when and how you're using your vocabulary. So you're improvising how to use different E7 chords or little riffs or a lick you already know, when to put it in there, how to change it, turn it around, etc. So I'm going to start with the most basic 12-bar blues with little variations you can improvise on. First thing I'm going to do is do a cool intro, which also functions as the turnaround. It's going to be in the key of E, so it's based on the 1-4-5, which is an E7, which could mean other types of things you can play instead of this chord, but the structure is an E7 chord, which is 2nd fret A, 1st fret G, and all the open strings. An A7, basic form, 2nd fret D, 2nd fret G, open A string down. And then a B7 chord, which is a root on the 2nd fret A, 1st fret D, 2nd fret G, pinky on the 2nd fret high E. So that little thing I just did there was the intro and turnaround. All right, let's start with that intro and turnaround. Now, an E7 chord is like that. An E major chord has that 3rd finger on the 2nd fret D string. And I feel like for the turnaround, just a regular E major is a little cleaner sounding, but you can do E7 or E major. Then I'm starting with my middle finger on the 2nd fret G and my 3rd finger on the 2nd fret high E, and I'm going to hit that G string and slide it up a whole step to the 4th fret. So then I go to the high E, back to that G on the 4th fret. Move that grip down a half step, and G, high E, G, then another half step, and then I hammer on that 1st fret G. So once again, super slow. And that little 1st fret G hammer-on is part of that E major chord. And then I'm going to play the open A string, 1st fret, 2nd fret. And when I hit that 2nd fret on the A string with my middle finger, I then form that B7 chord. So one more time, super slow. The whole intro, there's the intro and turnaround. And so now the structure that I'm going to show you for the 12-bar blues is going to be E7, for, we're going to do what I like to call the short change, which goes like this. It's a 1 bar of E. And so a bar is a count of 4 in the blues. So we're going to play 12 different counts of 4, and then it starts over again, and it's going to repeat and repeat and repeat. So the first bar is an E7 chord, and I'm going to show you different options, but here's the structure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1 measure of A7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then back to E7, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was now 2 bars of E7. So the structure again, 1 bar E7, 1 bar A7, then 2 bars E7. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. Now the A7 for 2 measures or 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. Back to the E7. 1, 2 for 2 bars. 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. So they were all for 2 bars each, except for the first 2 chord changes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we do B7. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 bar of B7. Then 1 bar of A7, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the intro turnaround we already did. So now we get to some little improvising. So remember that structure. And so now the first thing I'll show you is instead of an E7 just strummed, you can play the classic, I guess you'd call it a Jimmy Reed little thing. That little vibe. So you've got the open E, 2nd fret A, and then you're going up to the 4th fret A string. So 1 measure of that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you do the same thing for the A7. 1, 2, 3, 4, back. Keep that the same. So with that now, I can improvise, meaning using elements that I've showed you so far, and I can combine the regular open E chord and that riff. So we can go... So the next addition, this is all can be mixed and matched, improvised. When I'm using this Jimmy Reed riff, you can also add the 5th fret up with your pinky. And you can mix and match that anytime you want. You could go. Next, on both the E riff and the A riff, you can add the 3rd fret of the string above it as a little like lick or a little embellishment. So check this out. And if I do that quick change, 1 measure on E, 1 measure on A, it looks like this. What's cool about that little addition is that when you're on the A riff, you can bend that little embellishment on the 3rd fret A string. But you can choose the E string for that A as well, like this. Another thing on either of those is when you do you can go to the octave. And so when it's E, it would be hitting that 2nd fret D string like this. And so for the A, you're just scooted over. I'd be hitting that 2nd fret G string. Now, as an alternate to that short change, and you can do this anytime you want, but you're going to want to, if you're playing with another musician or a full band, you're going to want to coordinate when to do the short change or not. Instead of 1 measure of E, 1 measure of A, you just stay on E through that whole sequence like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, then change. So that's just another way. Instead of one measure E, one measure A, you do start on 4 measures E, right to the 2 measures A, 2 measures E, B7, A7, turn around intro lick. So that's another option. And what's cool about staying on the 1 chord, the E7 longer, is you can get some of that E minor pentatonic. This is really specifically good for the 12-bar slow blues, is classic things like 2nd fret G string, bend. So I'm doing a 2nd fret G string bend, half step, back, pulled off, and then 2nd fret of the D string. Another one, 3-0, 3-0, 2nd fret, either bent the half step, boom, pull off, or a slide. Same note, but and so those little fills are great, and it works over every section of the 12-bar blues. Those licks work, but here's how that would look like. Now what I'm going to do is just one other option, because we've been going for a while here, but this is all great information. Is another additional kind of thing you can do over the E7 and the thing you can do over the A7. And I've called these in other videos, but I'll say it again. For E7, everything we've done so far, but you can also add an element of what I call the land of E7. And for A7, we can add the element of the land of A7. And so the land of E7, you've got the E7 chord. And then I'm going to put my 3rd finger on that 4th fret A string and my index finger on the 2nd fret G. And then move that 3rd finger up a half step and hit the 4th fret G string with my middle finger. All the open strings can work with it too. And instead of that fingering, you can switch to 3rd finger and middle finger. And anytime you hammer on that 1st fret G string is great. And you can see that the part of that Jimmy Reed riff, those notes are there. But we're harmonizing extra notes. So I only played the 2 thickest strings there. Here's all of them. Now the parts of the land of A7, we're going to stay in that same zone. You play the A7 with the middle and third finger. Then I'm going to move that middle finger up to the 4th fret and hit the 3rd fret B string. Then I'm going to move that middle finger up a half step to the 5th fret and hit the 3rd finger on the 5th fret B string. So that's all the techniques I'm going to show for this particular video. There's more to cover, but now I'll try and put some of that together. Improvised. That's what improvising is. It's taking the ideas I already know, but then improvising when I use what. And I'm just trying to be inspired in the moment, not think too much about it. All right, hope you guys dug the lesson. Thank you again for hanging out, watching, etc. Don't forget, I've got many, many hours of techniques like this in a brand new course called Intermediate Blues Techniques that you can check out in the description below. So be sure to check that out. I've also got a bunch of other helpful blues-related courses at my website, martymusic.com. Really appreciate your continued support and hope to see you guys again. Take care.